Welcome back to the Rest is F1 podcast. Today we are talking about the British Grand Prix and our predictions. I'm your host Shaq, and with me as always I've got Ham. How are we?
Hey Shaq, hey guys, going good. Another race, another weekend. Let's get on with it.
Yeah, we're gonna dive straight into the predictions. As usual, we got our normal predictions, and let's go straight into the good drive. Who have you got?
I've gone Max Verstappen for the good drive. Okay, he's got one of his worst races last week in Austria at the home Grand Prix for Red Bull. He crashed out with Kimi Antonelli. Something which was least expected, but it wasn't his fault at all. It was Kimi who crashed into him. So I'm just gonna go for Max Verstappen. He is gonna come back in this race.
Yep, ABD has gone for Lando Norris. Obviously, won the last race in Austria. Pretty good form, I would say, after, or not good form, I guess, but good race after the poor one in Canada. So I think a good comeback for Norris is on the cards, maybe. My good drive is Lewis Hamilton. I've gone for the. I would say I would think this is the most fair track to give him that. The go for the good drive. I think Ferrari have taken a good step forward. Austria, they look like the clear best second best team. Sorry, and I think I mean Hamilton. Obviously, strategy from Ferrari still needs to improve, but apart from that, I think he's got good pace. He's really strong in Silverstone. Obviously, he's got 9 wins here. He won last year as well. So I've gone for Lewis Hamilton.
I just don't want to jinx it for him. It's it's a big thing for Hamilton. For the past how many years has it been? For the past 14 years, if I recall, 14, 15 years, he has been finishing on podiums.
I think it's the
Uh,
start of his F1 career, so it would have been like almost
So,
18 years
technically not
now.
start of his F1 career. So he, as per the records, he has not finished in the podiums or the Silverstone 3 times in his entire career.
Hmm.
So I think for the past
Oh,
14
you mean in
years,
Silverstone? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yep, yeah, in the past 14 years, he has been consistently finishing in the podiums, where it is either P1, P2, or P3. He's
P3
got
worst, yeah.
Yeah, he's got two P3 and he's got to one P2, if I recall.
The rest are all wins. So
That's our win. So this is a big thing for Hamilton, a big race for him. So I hope the good drive happens.
yeah, yeah, me too. For two reasons. Obviously for Lewis Hamilton, and obviously I want the point. We're at a tough stage of the championship, but it's good. Me and ABD are obviously tied up, and obviously you've got some catching up to do now. You've had
Oh
a
yeah, I do,
luck,
I do.
bit of bad luck in the last few rounds, but yeah, we'll move on. To bad drive. Who have you got?
Well, for bad drive, I've gone for the home hero as well. One of the home heroes, Behrman. So uh, Oliver Behrman is not gonna have one of his best drives for now, and I think it is gonna be one of the races where he underperforms again. So Behrman it is.
Yeah, I've actually gone for his teammate Ocon in the other half for my bad drive. I think Ocon is very hit or miss. Weekend he might have a good one. One weekend he might have a bad one. Last two races he scored points. I think he scored points in Monaco as well. So I think this is going a little bit against the grain, but still, I think I can do. Ocon can potentially have one of those weird, weird ones. So ABD has gone for Kimi Antonelli for his bad drive. Now, I checked this earlier. Kimi's only scored points in like one of his last 6 or 5 or 6 races, I think. So I think this is not that bad of a prediction. I think he's been having some hard luck recently. I think that thing in Austria, it was obviously his fault, but there was a bit of bad luck. So I think, yeah, ABD could be on the right track there.
Yep, I totally agree with that. Antonelli has been facing some sort of issues now and then. He has not been performing like we saw him at the initial stages of the season. So hopefully, giving that ABD is given for a bad drive, it is most likely to happen. But then, for his sake, for Kimmy's sake, I hope he does good.
Yeah. Let's go to the teams. Good team. Who have you got?
Well, I just said that Antonelli does good, so I need Mercedes for the. I've given Mercedes for the good drive or
Yeah.
the good team. I need Antonelli to perform well as well. So Mercedes. So uh, in the last race, they were lacking pace. We could see Russell struggling in P5. He was nowhere close to the Ferraris or the Williams, which was well ahead of the Ferraris as well. So I think he was almost a minute or more behind the podium, if I recall, or was it minute or more behind the winner? So we could clearly see that how slow the Mercedes was, and given that Kimi Antonelli had to crash out in the first corner, made it a really bad race for Mercedes this weekend, the previous weekend. So hopefully they jump back in Silverstone.
Yep. Me and ABD have actually gone for the same good team. So we've gone for Ferrari. And one thing about Ferrari, I just want to say, they did overtake Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship in Austria after the DNF and then Russell's P5. So I got some faith. I've gone for Ferrari. ABD's gone for Ferrari. I think, no one, we're not going to really mind if they do well or not because we're both going to get a point regardless. But um, no, I would like to see them do well. I think they're coming back a bit. Like I said, pace is coming back a bit. I think the performance is improving. So I think let's go Ferrari. Let's see what happens. Let's go to the bad teams. I think these ones are a bit self-explanatory. We'll just touch on ABD's one first. I think this team pretty poor last week and no real explanation needed. He's gone for Williams. They've had a double DNF, the worst result of the season. I think the form kind of shows why ABD's gone for Williams, a bad team. I think that's pretty fair enough. But what have you got for bad team?
I've gone for Haas for the bad team. They've they've just been a hit and miss every now and then. They at times finish in points, or they're nowhere close to the points. So I have a feeling that in this weekend Haas is not going to have a really good performance, and it is going to be a bad weekend for them. So bad team for Haas.
Yeah, I've actually just gone for Aston Martin. I think this one's more of a stab in the dark. I don't really know what could happen. Alonso did pretty well in the last race, but Stroll was, as usual, pretty poor. So I think if Stroll does his thing and then Alonso, doesn't do his thing, I think we can see another Aston, poor race because, they're not that fast, unfortunately for them, which is crazy to say. Given 2023, they were the second quickest at the start. So yeah, let's see what they do. So let's move on to the crazy prediction. What have you got?
Well, I've gone for something that has happened in the last week as well, but then it's Silverstone. Anything can happen. Double DNF for a team. Doesn't matter what team it is. It is going to be a double DNF for any team that is going to be racing this weekend. So whether it is a Ferrari, a McLaren, or a Haas, or a Red Bull, Mercedes, doesn't matter. Double DNF for any team out of the 10.
Okay. ABD's gone similar lines within the DNFs. He's gone there will be exactly two DNFs. So he thinks obviously there is rain at Silverstone this weekend. And it could happen, but the boldness of this prediction is that there will be exactly only two. So is that gonna happen? I don't know. Let's see. I mean, it's
It's gonna
Silverstone,
be
fast
it's
corners and stuff. So You never know.
Yeah, exactly. To a DNF means that there's not going to be more than two or less than two. It's going to be exactly two. So ABD, let's see.
Yeah. So no, I know you can see my crazy prediction, but just I'm gonna slightly alter it. I'm gonna change it. So I'm gonna go. My crazy prediction is the pole margin will be the biggest this season. Now, why I'm saying this is because it's raining. I don't know if you remember in China, like last year, Norris got the pole by like 1.4 seconds or something like that. And it's just because rain can like change, and like the conditions just keep moving on, and like you need this tire and that tire and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go biggest pole margin in this race. I'm gonna go this race, the pole margin will be the biggest. That's my crazy prediction. I'm scared if it's gonna happen or not.
Jack, I'll
Because
tell you something. If
yeah,
it has to be biggest, it has to be more than
like half
half a
a second.
second.
Yeah, half a second. That's why
Because
I've gone for that.
because 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 in the last race for Austria, Norris was half a second quicker than Leclerc during qualifying.
Yeah. I will say that is partly due to the fact that a Piastri and Verstappen didn't even get a shot at the proper lap. So I'm not saying he didn't deserve a pole. He did a great lap. He did like all purple sectors, but I'm just saying that it would have been closer than what we.
Yeah, but then see that's what it that's what it happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So this is the same thing. Maybe we'll get some craziness.
yeah.
Someone
Or do you remember some? We were talking about the same one of the races where Ocon or Gasly or somebody had gone for P1 because they were on softer tires, and just when it was about to rain, they
Magnussen,
set the
Magnussen.
fastest lap.
It was Magnussen.
It was Magnussen.
Yeah, in Brazil,
Yeah,
Magnussen got the
it,
pole position. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
yeah, and rest of them couldn't catch up because they were on wet tires or they
And it was
were
raining.
on.
It was raining. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
You
So
have to go out
imagine.
like straight away. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so this okay, something like this happens, you're gonna get a point there.
Yeah, yeah. So let me just change that biggest.
Yes,
All right. So there we go. Pole margin biggest. That's my crazy prediction. But
go for
let's
it.
get to the spicy stuff. Starting off with pole position. Who have you got?
Uh, I've gone for the. I've been giving some home favorites here and there, and I've gone for Lando Norris for the pole again. He's done it in Austria. He's gonna do it again. He's gonna want to do that same thing in front of his home crowd, in front of where he grew up. So it's gonna be Lando Norris for the pole.
Yep. I have gone my pole position with absolutely zero bias at all. Oscar Piastri. And ABD has also gone for Oscar Piastri. We both believe the Aussie will get it done. And it's not just I believe, I want it to happen. I don't really care about the championship fight. I just want to see this Aussie, this deservingly quick Aussie, just get his, I feel so far, deserved world championship. He has been phenomenal. Last race, he was not bad at all. I think we all still gave him like a 9 out of 10. Pretty good generally. I don't think even when he has a bad race, it's still like a P4 at worst, right? So it's not too bad.
I would say in Australia in his home Grand Prix he had the worst race, but apart from that he
After
has
that,
just been
nothing, right?
phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. After that, absolutely nothing. So yeah,
He is still leading in the point in the drivers' championship as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So let's go to the top three. I want to hear who you've got for P3.
Well, I've gone for the Aussie PS3 for P3. I know it's a bit harsh, but then I reckon PS3 is gonna finish on the podium, but then it is gonna be P3.
Yep. ABD has gone. P3 Charles Leclerc. He believes that Leclerc will make it 10-1 in the races to Hamilton. He's beat him 9-1 so far in the races. And it's a good shout. I mean, it's exactly the same. It's the exact same three from the last podium. I will say that. It just swapped the McLarens around, but it's fair enough. I think Leclerc was really good, and he's in good form. He's picked up three podiums now, I think. So that's a good shout. But I have gone for Lewis Hamilton. I've gone the other way. I've gone for the other Ferrari. I believe he will finally beat Leclerc again, and that is a spoiler, I guess. No Leclerc on my podium. But yeah, I've gone Hamilton P3. But who do you have? P2.
Well, I've got Hamilton for P2. I think finally this is the race where he is gonna finish in the podiums in P2 in his Grand Prix. He is gonna keep a streak continuing, and I'm all fingers crossed for that. I want Hamilton to be on the podium. I don't want him to lose on to his streak. And Ferrari, just
Please.
make sure this happens, because
Please.
the fans are gonna go crazy if he finishes anywhere below below P3. So Ferrari, you've got a big job at hand. Might as well keep at it.
Yep, it's possible. Let's see. ABD for P2 has gone for Lando Norris, and I have gone Lando Norris for P2 as well. I do not believe it's going to be a win. I mean, I only said that last race, but um, I just think he's going to crumble under some pressure. Home race pressure is not really his cup of tea, I guess, if you want to call it. He doesn't really do super well under pressure. I think Austria, he didn't have too much pressure, given that Oscar obviously had a bit of a problem with qualifying and all that. I'm not saying he didn't deserve the win or anything, but I think that was something just to keep an eye on. So I've gone for Lando second, and so is ABD. Let's go. P1. Who do you think will win the British Grand Prix 2025?
Lando Norris for the win.
Bro.
I've got a British driver P1 and P2. I
British
was
one
thinking of
too, yeah.
making, yeah, I was thinking of giving Russell for P3, but then I think it's gonna be a bit of a long shot for having all the three British drivers onto the podium, but then Lando Norris for the win.
Okay.
But just imagine, Shaq, just imagine having three British drivers finishing on the podiums instead of Piastri. It's going to be, let's say, Norris, Hamilton, or Russell, Hamilton, Norris, or Hamilton, or any way around. Having three drivers on the podium and Behrman finishing somewhere in the points, having all the British drivers finishing on points
Norris,
and three on
Hamilton,
podium.
Russell, Behrman. That should be their finishing order.
The
One, two, three,
P4
four.
lockout by the British Grand Prix,
Yeah.
British drivers.
Yeah. My P1, I believe the winner of this race in Britain will be Oscar Piastri. Yeah, no bias. Totally no bias. No, I'm kidding. Um, he's just, like I said, awesome, consistent. I think outperforms Lando where it matters. And I've gone Oscar again. I don't believe I've gone for Norris in almost like 10 races now. So, um, yeah, look, I just believe in Oscar. I think he can upset the McLaren, the British fans, and steal the win from Norris. I think he could even do it by like a comfortable gap. I'm not making any claims on that, but I think you could see something like that from Oscar. And obviously, as you can tell by ABD's podium, he's also gone for Oscar Piastri for the win. So it's me and ABD versus Ham. He's going different to us because he needs the points. So he's got his fingers crossed for a miracle. But apart from that, yeah, let's see.
Yeah, let's hope this happens, and it's going to be a great Silverstone Grand Prix this weekend. So, guys, let's see this happening, and it's going to be a rainy race. It's going to be a wet tired race as well. It's going to be a mega one, and hope to see you all then.
Yep. So until the next one, we'll catch you for the next video after the Silverstone race for our race review. But until then, have a good one, and always stay tuned. Bye bye.
Bye, guys, and please do remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.